Hey everybody, we're back doing the ODE installation on the Neo Geo CD. So let's go ahead and get this thing open up and get that started. It's the Neo Geo CD that was in our other video. First thing we're gonna do is get in here and get these 4 screws taken out. Off to the side and disconnect this ribbon cable right there on the side. That'll get our top off from there. Okay, now that we have this completely actually down to the board itself, go ahead and take that out. And this is one of the cleanest boards and consoles I have seen in a while. It's not really any corrosion or anything. There's a little bit of flux still on the bottom of the board, but outside of that, it's all fairly clean. So, on the installation, there are a couple different revisions of the board. And what you're going to be looking at on the board itself is this right here, where it says EP, and that. So this is a revision E of the board. So there are a few different installation instructions depending on which board you have. So we will follow the instructions for the E or EP installation on that. All right, and what we're going to need to do is this CN3 connector right here. You can either take it off, or if you want to keep the CD drive intact, can leave it. Actually, this, or if you don't want to rip it off, you can just actually flip it over, and we're going to solder to the back side, which is right here, and pin 1 is going to be the outside. So we're going to get our 3 lengths of wire here, and we're going to go ahead and get those soldered up. All right, not that it's 100% necessary, but we do have some wires on there. We're going to go ahead and get some capped on tape just to help kind of secure these to the board. We have those there. The next step is going to be down here on TOP, so top SP1, or it might be SP1-2 or -3. It's the next one, and what we're going to want to do is lift up pin 12 on those. You want to be careful when lifting that because you don't want to tear the pad off of the board. I have that lifted and did not tear the pad off. All right, once we have those lifted, you're going to want to take 2 more small sections of wire. One of them is going to go onto the pad section that we just lifted, and the other end of our wire, and then the other piece needs to actually go on to the pin of that, or the leg. What I'm going to do is take these two wires and bring them up across the top. And we're going to, you can either tape or hot glue these in place. I prefer to tape them just in case we ever have to undo it. But to just kind of give a little bit of security to those, and also just to make sure that they're not touching each other. But that is our wires from the top and our other ones coming in from the bottom. And then we're going to want to take our main board here and our ribbon cable. And this is going to get plugged in with the blue side facing up. And that gets attached in. And then you are looking for the 68H000 piece, which is this right here. On here, there is a pin 1. And on the bottom of this, there's an arrow that should line up with pin 1. Because this literally just pressure fits Alright, with that in place, what we want to do is take our 2 wires off of the pads that we lifted in that. We're going to bring those over and kind of estimate our length here. Give ourselves a little bit of room to work with. And what you want to do is the lifted pad is going to go to, or the lifted pin is going to go to B, and the main board is going to go to A. So for me, lifted is black, and the main is the red wire that I have. A little tug test, those are firmly attached. And then down on our XYZ, the way that's going to go is wire 1 to Z, 2 is going to go to X, and 3 is going to go to Y. Alright, so it's going to go wire 1, 2, and 3 are going to go on to here. We'll give ourselves a little bit of slack and room to work with. Now, just the way I did my wires I kind of did them in alphabetical order, so blue, green, yellow, BGY, 1, 2, 3. All right, now that we got all those kind of soldered into place, got them taped down a little bit, what we want to do, sitting like here, I'm going to take the ribbon cable. It would have been, the instructions are leave a little to be desired. It would be nice if they kind of mention this fold ahead of time. We want to our removed CD audio bundle, and what we want to do is take this wire all the way down on the end. This piece, what we're talking about, will plug into here, and the white wire has to go on the outside. Right, outside side with the little arrow right there, or away from the notch. The thing I'm starting to enjoy with a lot of these is they tell you, hey, your kit came with a foam pad. You know, my kit did not come with a foam pad. It didn't. There is no foam pad in any of the packages that came with the loader that they want you to stick on top of it to insulate it against the top of Manipulate that to get it plugged in. Alright, let's go ahead and move this out of the way because we're sort of done with the bottom. What we're going to do is take a look at the top because I'm going to try to keep my CD drive intact. What we're going to do is take the bottom board of this and almost want to bend this to a 45-ish degree angle, so it actually, you want it to look like that. And then you're going to want to remove this screw here. Get that screw back in. And then what we're actually trying to do is the SD card slot here is trying to get it to line up with one of the gaps. So that way when you put the card in, it actually is just going to slide in between the vents right here directly into that slot. And looks like we have that in a fairly decent good spot. All right, now let's go ahead and get this put back together. Back together. Let's go ahead and get it plugged in and get an SD card in there and get it tested out. All right, as you can see there, we got our SD card plugged in. It doesn't go all the way in, it still sticks out some, but let's go ahead and get this powered on and all right, there you have it. That is the Neo Geo SD loader installed. Nice thing is everything kind of comes up alphabetical order. Don't have everything loaded on here just because largest spare card I had laying around was 32 gigs. I think you really need like a 64 gig card to get everything loaded. But just to kind of show that everything does load, and much faster load times than the actual Neo Geo CD itself. Options, we have ours. You have your settings, you can still change your country, stored saves, load saves, firmware updates. Anyways, we are North Pole Retro. That is the ODE or SD loader install on the Neo Geo CD. Find us at northpoleretro.com. Like, subscribe, share. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for stopping in and have a good night.